we got the one like already. Damn, y'all some loyal people, man. 5:10 in the morning, y'all already here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Fuck. All right, let me put on some real music. Not that that was fake, but you know, a little bit of background noise. What's up, people? Why y'all up so early? Yo, man, this must be about to die. This thing stripping. Yo, man. All right, so went ahead and shuffled 5 cards. I was told not to take any more right now. This came out before I even turned on the camera when I was still setting up. The thing fell and whatever, but I haven't actually, well, I haven't read it yet. Cause y'all know I do different decks. I don't do no fucking rider weight, whatever the hell bullshit. All right, so yo, man, you know they're lying. They're lying. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me turn down some of this other stuff. Make sure I could be heard. And let me move these things out the way. Boom. Where's my other? Hey boy. Man. I don't know, yo. People nowadays, dog. Let me see what we got over here. I'm gonna do much better. I don't know if about much, but anyways, yeah. Y'all know it takes me a minute to get into the zone. Welcome to Intoxicated Intuition, where I am intoxicated, utilizing my intuition. Uh, yeah, man. I don't know why people feel like they can get over on us. You know, like the shit be so obvious too. The shit's so obvious, dog. You know why? Because people tell stories. All right, they don't think about the details. So the quickest way, you know what I'm saying, to catch somebody slipping up or to even protect yourself against someone uh trying to misguide you would be, you know, to pay attention to the details, because eventually what they're saying will add up or not add up. You know what I'm saying? Like will what they're saying in combination with the people around them, or what they're saying in combination with what other people have told you privately, will begin to paint a picture. It will begin to give you what would be the word? Haven't been asleep yet. It will give you a not just the pieces to the puzzle, but like the cover of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? So like you might not have every individual piece pieced together yet, but you could look at the front of the freaking box and see what the hell the picture truly is. Okay. It's like context clues in school back in the day. Except these people think they're getting over on you and they're not. But why the video is titled what it is? Well, because first off that kept popping up, so you know spirit be coming through. But it popped up like that because you have some options. You know, you have some options. And sometimes, well, okay, it's multiple reasons, right? So first, um, there's the part of you that will be in denial and also um, look for excuses, right? So we've talked about on this channel. I don't know if you're new here or not, but there's always this thing where we like repaint people's colors to fit our image, right? We all have our little canvases of life that we're painting and shit like that. And someone shows you that, you know, they're the color brown that doesn't really go with shit. And you had this bright, vibrant freaking painting, you know what I'm saying? And they just come and take a fucking brush stroke, just all brown across your whole thing that you've been working on, things that you've been building. You might have been working on that shit for months, for years, whatever. It doesn't matter because they care about themselves, right? And so what we'll do is try to like repaint that blemish to fit within our picture that we're trying to paint instead of just accepting people where they are and what they show you they are, right? Because there's always this thing of like, you see someone has potential, you want to help them out, or they have potential and you feel like, oh, they're different around you, or they're going to change around you, or, oh, yeah, you got to give people chances. People can change and all that shit. Listen, people can grow, right? You can grow to know that something is not in alignment with your values or your morals and not do it again. Or you can grow enough to see, like, oh, when I behave that way or treated that person that way, these things happen. And you feel like you want to be a better person or whatever. So, at any moment in time, you can, say you've made enough progress and enough growth to get past um, moments like that, like times and situations where you've treated someone maybe unfairly or not a representation of the character of your true self, right? It's especially when you're either not rooted in who you are or you're being triggered, like old triggers from your past, meaning like childhood or a past relationship or something like that, is now coming into the fold, is coming into the mix. So you might have thought, you're cool, whatever, and then all of a sudden you get triggered and you just go the fuck off, right? So you might say, oh, that's very out of character for me, type of thing. But that's the whole point. You can grow enough to not repeat those behaviors or those mental philosophies. But at the end of the day, you go back to your natural self, right? So you're always going to return to your natural self. So in essence, you're not changing. You're not changing as a person because that piece of you still lies within you. You're just choosing from your elevation and your growth to not utilize those defense mechanisms of the past, like lashing out or drowning yourself in alcohol or having a bunch of sex to feel numb or whatever it is. So you're taking, or some of us are very vicious with the tongue, right? We could be very yeah, just vicious, very very venomous with our words and things like that. So you can grow enough to know how many people, you know, you might have done that to, or maybe the person you're interacting with currently, you know what I'm saying? You feel like, well, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have said that, or I wish I could take that back, or whatever it may be, right? Um, the second side of all of that, so basically, like what I'm saying is, they always say people change, people change. No, people, you can grow and elevate. Like I said, as you get older, you recognize what's quote unquote right or wrong or whatever like that. You have some type of moral compass and alignment with your values and things like that. But at the end of the day, your natural self, your true self is going to be there. So if like your default emotion is anger or rage, that's still gonna lie within you. It might take a little bit more to trigger that, but that's still gonna be there because that has been what has been protecting you pretty much your entire life. And anger represents when something is wrong. It's a clear signal and indication that something is wrong. It's very hard to fake your way through anger, because when people are sad, they do all kinds of shit to try to make themselves not feel sad. They want to escape, right? So a lot of escapism and a lot of toxic positivity and things like that. Like, oh, I'll just meditate it away. I'll just do yoga. I'll just do this and do that. To try to escape the discomfort of sadness. Although sadness is a part of the grieving process, just like anything else. Sorry, I'm changing up my setup again, so I am trying to figure out the best microphone position. Anyways, right. So, well, yeah, we're gonna get into these cards, but yeah, repainting people's pictures or repainting their what they're showing you. Okay, I knew someone that well, essentially there was this quote that said, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Okay. I'm very guilty of this. Is why I'm talking to y'all about this shit, right? Falling in love with potential and denying the truth to yourself, right? So, your other option, of course, is to lie to yourself and to continue trying to make things comfortable for you, make things where you don't have to think about the bullshit that these people are doing or that they've tried to hide from you and things like that. Okay. Um, what else do we have? There's a second part to this, but you know what? I'm gonna get into the cards and then we'll get to the other stuff. Um, for sure. My energy a little low. I did drink coffee and all of that, but it is what it is. So let's see who we have first. All right, we got Temperance card. Let me see if y'all could. It's good enough for now. I would have had my other camera and shit, but I had to use it. It's occupied. Yeah. So homie here is like crouched down naked, um, in the water. Like it's kind of like if you ever seen a speedboat go through the water, so you're not quite submerged, but you're also not, you don't have the buoyancy to be above the water either. So you're like in this, I don't know, it's like he's like gliding across the water while crouched down naked, and he has a some type of sacred geometry thing in his hand. It kind of reminds me of like motion or something like that. So, anyways, it's a very vulnerable painting on this card. It's like he's getting to the root of something or reconnecting with something. So we'll get into that. Yeah. Then we got the Five of Cups here in reverse. And this guy is actually like a business suit type of dude with his like legs crossed and that stance that they do. Basically, the man's got on like a three-piece suit with a cup balancing on his knee while he's just chilling in the water, like he's just kicking back. A little bit of a different energy, but kind of the same. It's like if guy number one, I don't know, it's like guy number one in his say his 30s, and then guy number two in like his 60s. of like growth and development, kind of like we talking about already. So let me show y'all the guy. If it, oh wait, not him. This guy, right? So if he's not reversed, but he's in reverse, so we'll read that. Then we got the Three of Swords surrounding kind of like a heart shape a little bit, but like picks going through. It's like an ice heart because there's like an ice mountain in the back, a little like a loosely shaped bubble shaped like a heart with some ice picks going through it, right? Then we got our Ten of Swords. This person, man, yo, I gotta turn the lights on. Nah, it's all good. Yo, this person now is crouched over. It's like if you were in a fetal position, but like on your knees, right? Like your stomach facing the floor. So instead of fetal position on your side, it's like if you were facing down to the floor, and he's got 10 swords stabbing him all down his spine. So from the top of the mind all the way down to the base of the spine with the root chakra and everything like that. So, man, a lot of wounds. It feels like a lot of trapped. Um, y'all see that right there, yeah. I don't know. It's like mental anguish, yet it doesn't feel impossible to overcome. I don't know, y'all. We'll get into this shit. It take me a minute to get in the zone. Um, this says 9 of Cups. I see 8. Oh, there goes 9. Oh, and then the dude is all cheery and happy. You know what I'm saying? Cups, abundance, bountifulness, all of that. Like these houses behind us. Um, man, I feel like I need to say something, but it's just not. It's not here yet. So we'll see what happens. God damn, sorry, like 22 minutes though. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna take one of these off. Yeah, that's better. I don't ever do readings with freaking headphones on. It's throwing me off a little bit. I guess the thing of it too is like motherfuckers think they slick, right? So this is what I was talking about. Like you have options. Like should you show your hand, your full hand right now, and let them know that you know what's up, or should you gather a little bit more puzzle pieces or details and play it out in a little bit better way? We'll get into it. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. All right, yo, temperance. Listening within. Look at that, baby. 10 and 4, 14, number 5. Yeah. All right, so anyways, we often look at the options from an either or perspective. Damn, I can't even read right now. We often look at options from an either or perspective, but temperance invites us to consider that all things are possible, even when they appear to be at odds. Like that swords cup, that card that I was just talking about. Life is not static, and neither are your needs. They vary across a lifetime and across each situation. Through listening and awareness, the universe reveals what your soul truly needs, not just what your ego wants. It's not as complicated as you make it. If you can put your perceptions and impatience aside, you create space for alchemy. Meaning, quiet awareness, patience, inner listening, harmony between physical and spiritual, conscious moderation, a peaceful melding of opposites, the middle way, the quote unquote middle way, just like the shaman. All right, we walk the middle path, seeing things from both sides. Because the truth about it too is like you could know I say it like this, right? So just because you accept something doesn't mean you agree with it, right? We know like radical acceptance means you just accept it, like this is what it is, this is how it is right now. But that doesn't mean you have to agree with it, right? So again, seeing it from the side of either trying to protect them or protect your own facade. But on the flip side, like you can see or understand why someone might lie, but that doesn't mean that you have to go along with it just because you can understand their perspective. So I can see or understand, say, like, for instance, just to make a general thing, because we're going to get into some deeper stuff later, but like, for instance, say the government hides something from people, right? They lie about something, they don't want to put out the truth or whatever. You as a citizen could get all pissed off and be like, man, the government is corrupt and they're dirty and they do this and they do that and they never look out for us and blah 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 blah, right? But on the flip side of that, you can look and say, oh, but I get why the government would not tell people that shit. Like I understand why they would want to suppress certain information from the masses because not everybody can handle that shit. All right, with the limited amount of information that has been released, look at what the hell people have done with it. Okay, so there's going to be instances where it doesn't mean you have to agree with the government holding back information from you or from the people around you, but you can kind of understand from their perspective. If we did release, say, this information, this would create this type of anarchy or chaos or da 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 da, right? So coming back now to, because what I'm talking about in this reading is about personal, interpersonal relationships with people that are relatively close. All right, relatively close to you. Um, yeah. So I'm using the, just apply the same principles from the government example to the fake tricksters around you that feel like they really getting away with some shit and they're not at all. All right, King of Cups, baby. Oh no. Oh, this starts with ace, but then it goes. Here we go in the back. Man, that shit is tight. Both of them. Both of them. All right, King of Cups, gentle power. So yo, again, are you coming at this with like going all in to confront them, or are you taking your time and holding your tongue a little bit and using that power within you, but like using it in a way that people underestimate you? You know what I'm saying? Like it's always some motherfucker that's gonna underestimate you, and then you surprise the hell out of them, type of thing. And you might see that as like a negative or some type of like, oh, I'm not good enough, or people don't see me at this level and I deserve my respect and da 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 da. Or maybe people think you might take it as people think you're not as intelligent as you are or whatever. But it's actually, it could be a fucking superpower to be underestimated, right? Not just the underdog type thing. I mean genuinely, like, people think that you don't understand life, right? You don't have book smarts and street smarts or something like that. Like, people think that they have you all figured out. So it's really great when people underestimate you, because then they never see you coming. And that could be a very, very, very useful and tactful tool in life. Let me see something real quick, man, because I don't understand why. Sorry, Bluetooth stuff's messed up. All right, King of Cups, gentle power. In a swirl of chaos, the King of Cups sits at ease. generating warm, kind, and gentle support. He values empathy and compassion above all things, and the expression of humanity's greatness through arts and culture. His family and relationships mean everything to him, and he expects those around him to be sensitive to the experiences of others. He is the quintessential father figure, devoted, fair, and protective. When he shows up in your reading, he can bring others to your cause, appealing to their sense of loyalty and devotion. Now we got him in the reversal, right? So deceptive, distant, emotionally manipulative, overly sentimental, a pushover, explosive temper. Yo, we already talked about many of these. We already talked about like like tempers and default anger, things like that. Um, the overly sentimental man, that trips a lot of us up, right? It can trip a lot of us up, especially when it does come to things like loyalty. Like loyalty has its limits, right? But when you really, really are emotionally vested or attached to people or situations, um, hell, even ways of being, ways of living, right? Belief systems that are now outdated and no longer serve you and things like this. It could be very challenging to stay the course with that process. Meaning, it could be very challenging to see the trajectory of where you're going and know that it's kind of bringing you down, holding all these old attachments and old um, ways of expression and old belief systems and things like that. But these people, they hold sentimental value. These gifts that they may have given you, or the first time you learn how to tie your shoes or read or whatever, you know, like I said, this is about a lot of family shit, right? So the first time you ever did X, Y, and Z, it was with that person, it was with that group of people. So it can be very difficult to not just keep your distance from them, but completely, I mean, like completely fucking cut them off. It can be very difficult to even admit to yourself that it's time for these people to go, right? Shit, a popular situation going on right now, you know, I don't even really want to mention the guy, but basically, there's a very public figure where all his friends are fucking bringing him down, right? This guy has it made. He was raised in a two-parent household and had a father to always support him, and a guy going to the vending machines gave him his chance at a better life. Like literally gave him his professional career. Obviously you still have to work for shit, but like basically these situations and opportunities that don't come along for most people, right? And then getting picked up and having a $230 million contract on top of being endorsed by the top athlete brand in the world and one of the top sports drinks in the world, right? Having all these fucking opportunities and then wanting to throw it away to be some fake ass thug with some fake ass street cred based off of something that some rappers said in a song or how people carry themselves or whatever. And it's like you're doing the shit that people do for survival. Like the people that are actually out there doing stuff that's destructive, not just to themselves and their community. Normally, they're in a place of lack. They're in a place of survival mode. They're in a place of, for some people, they've just lost hope. You know what I'm saying? Like to them, this is just how life is. It's never gonna get better. Da 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 da. Right? And we can go into a whole nother video on all of that. But the point is, the person that's up here that has not only already been blessed, but has even more potential, almost unlimited potential to rise above and rise above and rise above and keep going and keep going. and blow up, beyond their wildest dreams and beyond their biggest potential or whatever, is willing to throw all that away to hang out with the same four or five clowns from fucking high school or middle school or whatever. Some of you have been dealing with people for 20, 25, 30 years that, if you're being quite honest, they're dragging you back. If you're being quite honest, they don't really serve you anymore. They're not giving you any purpose. They're not teaching you anything. They're not helping you grow. But you feel this fucking loyalty off of some sentimental value because when you lost your first tooth or tied your shoes or was on the playground or whatever it was, or your first job or something, your first relationship, or you met them at a wedding or whatever the hell it is, man. Like, this whole premise of falling in love with the memories instead of recognizing where that person is now and where you yourself are now, right? um Anyways, yeah, so going into this whole thing, we ain't even, you know what I'm saying, that's only the second card, but basically these are the kinds of things that are popping up already, right? Essentially, yeah, some people will say letting emotion cloud your judgment, but actually emotions show you what is truly wrong, or the directions that your soul really wants to go. Because the only time you're going to feel bad is when you're out of alignment with your higher self, with your true self, your higher being, whatever it is you want to call it. If you are truly in alignment with the things that bring you joy and ease, and the things that are going to elevate you, and the things that create opportunity for you so that you can create, right? Because the whole universe is about creation. The thing is still fucking expanding. Like, they thought that it was one big explosion and it shrunk down. No, it's still expanding out. All right, everything on this earth, everything in the ethereal realm, everything in the astral realm, it's constantly growing and expanding and creating. You're here to create. You are a co-creator. I don't even like to say co-creator. You are a damn creator. Okay. Um Now, whether you take it as far as to say you're your own god, or you are a god operating alongside a a source, right? However you want to look at it, either way, you're still a creator. All right. And you are active participant in your life. Now, some of us fall by the wayside, and we allow the I don't even want to say the guidance. We allow the mm, there's a word. I don't know. We allow the misdirection of others to overshadow who we are, overtake who we are. So we're allowing them to overshadow all the progress that we've made, overshadow all of the emotional turmoil that we've had to go through to create ourselves and become whole, or rebuild ourselves to become more whole. We are standing in positions that are extremely toxic and all of these other things because we want so badly to be accepted, right? Human beings, yes, are innately tribal, but some people need it or rely on it more than others. Mainly, usually because of how we were raised, or how we saw our parents receive love or not receive love, or how they showed love or did not show love in the capacity that we may have needed ourselves, things like that. But there are times where fitting in or trying to get acceptance from that crowd or that side of your family or these people who consistently are in and out of your life are actually hindering you. they've done their growth. You can see that their growth is stunted. You can see it. Their growth is fucking stunted. They're not going above where they are. I mean, they've been doing the same thing for the last like 3 to 5 years, the last 6 years, 16 years, even, right? I've come across people who still have these friends from high school and middle school who are still doing the same shit that they were doing then, they're doing now. Grown ass people still doing the same things they were doing when they were 17, 16, whatever, 14. So, you know, some people just never elevate. Some people, the comfort is more important to them than the avoidance of stagnation. So instead of breaking out and achieving everything I was meant to, or breaking out and being free of these limiting beliefs and things like that, I'm just going to stay with what's comfortable. The same coping mechanisms, the same defense mechanisms, the same, ideologies that have gotten me through, say, the last 10, 15 years. But have you not grown at all in the last 10 to 15 years? Have you not seen new things or explored new areas or had new experiences or people come into your reality? So, you know, anyways, yeah, I'm getting too far off of 2 words. So, like we said, I named this. Y'all saw me shuffle on camera, or at least you heard it and then saw it. We named this video. Matter of fact, I can't see it right now, but basically, oh, they're lying. Da 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 da. And the first thing we got off of this card, the King of Cups in reverse, was deceptive and distant. That's another thing. You start to see, like I said, pay attention to the details. If this person normally approaches you this way, or they normally send you like emojis, and they are very they laugh with you, or they're very loose with you, or they talk to you in a way that's more carefree, and now you starting to see them be a little bit more tight, a little bit more closed down, a little bit more reserved, and they keep telling you, oh no, everything's good, everything's okay type shit. Now, it could either be, you could say there's something going on with them, but if it was their best friend, they wouldn't be acting that way around their best friend. You understand? So pay attention to when people start to change their energy around you. When you reach out and now they're acting a little bit different. Now, some people, of course, they take everything to heart. Not everything is personal, so you could say, something like people be like, man, you're acting funny, da da da. I'm not talking about like they switched up the behavior for like a week or two. I'm talking about every time you hit their phone, or every time you all are in a conversation or around each other, you can see that something is off, or you can feel that something is off. So tapping in with your own intuition and recognizing when you feel it, it's a genuine thing. So like I was talking about, emotions are not this bad thing, this thing that you must control. No, what it is instead of trying to control it and suppress it, so then it does become a trigger like we talked about, or become a quote unquote shadow self and all of this shit, because people don't want to face themselves. So then you create this part of you that you're ashamed of, that you judge, that you do this, that you do that, and eventually it becomes what they refer to as a shadow. So we can talk about that in another video. I'll do a more extensive one. But the point is that when you ignore these emotions and these inklings or indicators going off inside of you, like alarm bells, right? You end up becoming blinded by external factors such as other people. So when You know something is off. You fucking feel it. You know it. You have, like I said, it's like having a puzzle where you have the front cover of the box where the whole thing is put together. So you might not have every individual piece. You know how they have the red string, like on one of those crime shows or something, they'll have like the red string and try to connect all the different dots. You might not have every dot, but you have the damn outline. And sometimes the outline is all you need. Okay? So listen to you. You know, don't allow these people to throw you off your energy, because this is another thing. People will try to start making you feel like you crazy, like, oh, like, you know, like you're making stuff up, or there's no way that could be true, or what do you mean it's me, like, what are you talking about, da 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 da, you know. Now of course there are some people, say, with mental health whatever, where they're extra paranoid and things like that, but really you could listen to a lot of shamans, speaking of the middle path, where the way that schizophrenics are treated in this country is heartbreaking to them in other tribes and other countries, because those a lot of times are seers. They're usually highly in tune with their clairs, their clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, things like that. Most of us, quote unquote, healers are wounded warriors or wounded healers who have our own, you know, Western medical diagnosis that really is just you understanding the power and the magnitude of who the hell you truly are. So I don't even know why I had to say all that right now, but yeah. So yeah, King of Cups in reverse. That's the second card, and we already getting into some really great stuff. And I really feel like I'm holding back. Not intentionally. Y'all know I don't hold my words for shit. Like, I'll say what it is, but um I don't know. It's just not coming out yet. But again, we got three cards left right here, so we on this one. This is the Three of Swords, which is, like I said, it's like this heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like a heart with all different kinds of picks, ice picks through it and stuff like that. So, oh look, yo, I swear this shit is so cool to me. All right, yo, Three of Swords, a shattered heart. In its cold and stormy environment, the Three of Swords indicates that you are taking your first tentative steps into a particular area of life, and your heart is about to be abruptly broken. A piercing truth or occurrence is imminent, and your life will not be the same once it has happened. It will hurt, but in retrospect, you saw it coming. And if you're really being honest, it's accompanied by a sense of relief. Though it's little consolation in the moment, it's times like these that bring us our most profound growth. Yo, like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about, bro. Y'all saw me shuffle. You heard me shuffle. You saw me shuffle. Y'all saw the cards come out, bro. I held them up the minute that they came out, kept them separate from the deck. I had to say this because I guess, like, people were talking about quote unquote readers coming on here and, like, pre-picking the cards or some shit. I don't know, dude. I don't know about that. I'm sitting here talking to y'all, having a genuine conversation. Um, and I use cards for levels of divination, but you already saw I was just talking about this. Like, literally, this whole card we just talked about. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I want to go back to that point too, about a piercing truth or occurrence is imminent, and your life will not be the same once it has happened. It will hurt. It will hurt. But in retrospect, you saw it coming. And if you're really being honest, it's accompanied by a sense of relief. Yo, sometimes, like, this is what I'm talking about right here. You know they're lying. You know they're lying. Sometimes it's just that satisfaction of, if we go back to the analogy of the puzzle box, like finally putting in that last piece. It's that satisfaction of catching that motherfucker. It's that satisfaction of, like I said, are you going to play it close to the chest, or are you going to go try to confront them now? Because you could confront them now, sure, but then they'll probably just lie their way out of it, talk their way out of it, da da da. It's best let them underestimate you. Let them think they're getting away with some shit, bro. Let them think they're getting away with something. Trust. It'll be so much better. But on top of that, it's not even the whole "I told you so" thing. It's the validation for yourself that you can trust you. You trust you. You don't trust nobody else. You trust you, right? You listen to your intuition. When you feel that fire in your belly, yo, like, I have to wait to tell y'all about some shit that happened some months ago. I've been waiting on it and sitting on it. It's driving me crazy waiting on it and sitting on it. But this is exactly what we're talking about, right? So, knowing the truth, embracing those emotions telling you something is off, bro. Picking up the details. Don't pay attention to what they're telling you. Look at the details around it. Look at the context around it. Look at how they act. Look at how the people around them are always so shifty, or how things seem so pre-planned, or so like in alignment with say who you are. Like, for example, one of the things is people will you'll say something to them, right? Tell them a story. You tell them a story. 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 weeks later, they come back at you talking about, oh yeah, you know that happened to me. So this. Or they'll say some shit like this where, like, say, I don't know, man. Say you're like, oh, I got this new opportunity. It's gonna pay me 6 figures a year, and I'm gonna get to move to the beach and have a house with solar panels and da 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 da. Right? You tell this, you just talking to them, just having conversation, and all of a sudden, a year later, now they talking about having this amazing opportunity and living on the beach with the solar panels and the da 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 da. And you're like, oh shit, like you too? And it's like, no, they've been sitting here analyzing and recording the things that you're saying, and then flipping it back to make it seem like they are in alignment with you, or y'all have things in common, right? To get that guard down, to get your guard down, and to get that kind of sentimental thing that we're talking about. These are the tricks. It's like, I watched The Office many times. There's a clip. I might be able to find it right now, put it on fair use or whatever, but I'm just explaining it, right? There's this clip where there's this Cornell graduate, Ivy League graduate named Andy. Most of y'all probably seen Office by now, but either way, there's a character called Andy, right? And speaking of rage and anger, anyways, um, right, well, yeah, that's a perfect example, right? So his anger and his rage, he's Mr. Nice Guy. He's always smiling. He's always cheesing. There's nothing ever wrong with him, right? And finally, one day, he goes the fuck off, punches a hole all the way through the wall at work. He's like, ah, and everybody just stops, like, because they were playing a prank on him, playing a joke. And this super cheery guy that is like, do, 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 and always singing and never in acapella and whatever, and never anything wrong, he just flips out. So he goes to anger management, right? They release him from his job for a little bit. Um, he goes to anger management, and the first thing he says to the camera when he's pulling up to anger management, about to walk into the building, is like, "Oh yeah, this is how you make people like you." And he's going on. He was like, "No, they're gonna love me." Basically, I'm paraphrasing, right? But he's like, "They're gonna love me." He was like, "You use their name. Make sure you use their name. Make sure you smile, and make sure you mirror. Okay, make sure you mirror." So one of the biggest psychological tricks out there is for someone to mirror your body language. So if I'm sitting back like this, just like chilling and talking to y'all like I am now, someone else is in the room with me. If they were in the room with me, they would be like laid back a little bit. If I sit up and I'm talking super proper and making sure to enunciate every single word so that everyone can understand and doing all that fucking bullshit, right? They will then do that too. They will start to change their dialect. Sometimes when my accent comes out, people around me, even if they're completely, they could be a white person from America type shit, or not from America, but you get what I mean. They could be a European, um, with an American psyche or a Western psyche, and the minute that my accent starts to come out, say if I just spoke to someone in my family or something like that, or saw something like reminding me of the Caribbean or whatever, suddenly they will start to speak in broken English or change their approach and things like that, right? So the point is that people use mirroring to emotionally manipulate you, to make it seem like they are on your side, make it seem like you all are in tandem and connected and all this kind of bullshit, just to find out that um, they're playing you. They're playing you, right? So the initial reaction could be yes, you go off on them or you want to confront them. But again, sometimes that patience pays off in a way better way. And there are times where, yes, it is going to hurt because it fucking sucks that the people that you let in, like I said, is like ice picks through the heart, literally, right? Right here. If we, I know I got the different colored lights on and shit, but you can kind of see that or pause the video and zoom in, right? It's having, and what I see in this card too is like having this open heart. You know what I mean? It's like it's made out of glass. Like I said, it's like a bubble. Like it's super fragile. Made out of. I thought it was a mountain. It might be a wave, but either way, um, I think it is a mountain with ice caps on it, right? So if it's ice caps, it's like this hardened heart, basically. Like I said, with these ice picks coming through, but the heart itself is pretty clear, and that in its own right could be symbolic, just off the fact that you have that kind of, or I could speak for me too, of like having that kind of pure heart where you keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving and letting people in or whatever, and trusting that naivety, like or naivete, however you want to say it. I don't know, man. It's interesting because you could say like you're being naive, but a lot of times I feel like you do know, and you're just one of these pure people in this fucked up world. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know that most of these metaphysical channels are where, I don't know, everywhere nowadays it seems like, but people always want to act like, well, if you say things like that, like if you say that the world is messed up, then the world's gonna be messed up and da da da, and it's like, or the world's just freaking messed up. Like it's okay to admit that as well. You don't have to try to act like you're in this box where real life doesn't exist. And that's exactly what we're talking about anyway. A lot of us, or a lot of you, have been pretending that everything's all good when you know it's not. All right. Now, again, if you're pretending in the face of, say, those people that you don't want to confront yet, or that person, but I feel like people that you don't want to confront yet, that's one thing. But at least admit the damn truth to yourself. Okay. Allow your emotion to guide, not in the sense of losing control, but in the sense of understanding why you're feeling what you're feeling, not just the symptom of feeling it, right? Like sadness or anger or happy or whatever, it could be the reaction or the symptom to the core trauma, the trigger, the yeah, we'll just stick with those two for right now. There was something else, but it zoned out, so it is what it is. Anyways, like I said, man, um, it's imminent. The truth gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? And the betrayal, the shock, the I don't know, disbelief, all of it. Like it's so much that comes along with this. And again, like, I'm gonna take it on a personal note. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just here reading cards and just telling y'all bullshit. This is like some real stuff um that I've been living through or lived through, you know what I'm saying? So the hardest part is again, the sentiment makes you want to maintain your loyalty to these people. But at the end of the day, like these individuals did not give a damn about you. They didn't. Because if they gave a damn about you, they would have never uh have jeopardized your mental peace. They wouldn't have jeopardized your growth. They wouldn't have jeopardized your um I want to say process, but the process is a little bit more on you just because you have to go through certain things to learn lessons. And normally we learn better. Unfortunately, we learn better when the lessons are hard compared to when things are kind of coasting. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like you have these ideals of family or tribe or whatever. And as we kind of already talked about or touched on, the family aspect of it and society as a whole, usually tells you, oh, but that's your mom, man, but that's your mom, or like, man, but that's your cousin, or whatever. Like they try to force you to um, resonate with and get along with and stay loyal to and support and all these other things your family, who are a bunch of people that you didn't choose to be around. So yeah, you could say that in certain belief systems, you can say that you made your soul contract before you came here. Who like the situations and scenarios you were gonna run into and things like that. But individually, did you choose a bunch of selfish, narcissistic, fucked up individuals who don't give a damn about anybody but themselves or don't give a damn about anything but money? Like, was your higher being, your spirit self, even thinking about money? Because money is a 3D tool. That's something of the physical world. That's not, it doesn't mean jack shit. Matter of fact, it doesn't mean anything here because it's not actually based or backed by anything. There is no gold or anything. The long story short, the condensed version of the story is a bunch of rich motherfuckers, a bunch of kings and of there was a bunch of kings, right, and different government officials and things like that, and billionaires, trillionaires, whatever. They all went and took their kids out, right? Big family gathering, whatever. They had a bunch of like six families coming together, basically, and they're all on this island, this private island. And the kids are like, "Oh, we want to see the money. We want to see the money because every like once a year, all of these head officials would go to the island to check on the money and the gold and the da 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 da." And so the kids wanted to see it one day. So they're all excited, and the officials and all the adults and the parents, take them to the vault that is underground in this like this giant ass cave, right? So they take them to the vault and they open the vault and there's like six gold bars and like two bags of money, right? So all the wealth and everything that they thought they had, they don't have. Like it doesn't exist. Everything that they thought they had is gone. And the treasurer is up here like, yo, like there's a lot of stuff missing. Like what the hell's going on? Da 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 da. And he's like, well, over the years when y'all kept saying that you need this, you need that, I just knew we can come back and get it later. So basically a giant ass accounting mistake, or the fact that he was just basically like, well, y'all believe that you had the money, and so we had the money. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, that is how our actual fiat currency works. There is no gold or anything to back it up. is basically just what the Federal Reserve feels like saying that it is. It is because if you look at a $20 bill right now, it'll say promissory note. A promissory note just means it's a promise, meaning I promise to give you $20 in exchange for your good or service. I promise that my money, this $20 is not counterfeit. This $20 will clear my debts with you for your goods or service. And basically, you're just taking a motherfucker's word for it. Now, obviously, nowadays there's ways to check if it's counterfeit or not. But of course, as new discoveries are made, um, people that live destructive lifestyles are gonna figure out a way to scam those things and whatever. But you get the point, right? Like in real life, um, money's not backed by anything but your word. So I say all that to say that your higher being, your spirit self, your godlike self, was not thinking about a man-made 3D tool when you were making your soul contract or thinking about coming down here. So I say all that to say the family that you got stuck with, it doesn't mean that they have to be a life sentence. All right. If they continuously bring you down, if every time you talk to them they looking for money or they're complaining about something or they need you to come do this and this, they always need you to come do some shit. Like every time you talk to them is because they want something type shit. Or the reverse, which I think is even more painful and hurts the most, is those who you have given all your trust, your love, your support. You thought things were said in confidence or whatever it was. And the whole time they were playing you. They were telling um, your business to others, or they were trying to use your vulnerability in a way to scam you, to set you up, to get over on you. Um, I've had these instances happen to me. So, yeah, whatever. We'll get back to that. Yeah, shouts out to everyone watching right now. I really appreciate it. I mean, y'all are up at 6 o'clock in the morning, or I guess 7 or whatever, depending on your time zone. I guess other people might be at like 4 in the morning or 3. I don't know. Oh, mm-mm. I don't have any more energy to give. I apologize. I feel like I'm doing a good job, but I just don't sound like I have enthusiasm. So hopefully you're not falling asleep. But I don't know. You know those quiet storm DJs? Like the whole point is for you to fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like get benefit and then fall asleep. I don't know. Anyways, 10 of Swords. This is the dude I told you was like in a fetal position, but if you were to be like, it's kind of like on a you know the tornado drill back in school, where basically you crouch over into like a little shell. And normally, I mean, in tornado drill, you put your hands on your neck or whatever. But, anyways, this guy is like, if you were to take a fetal position and flip it on your knees instead of on your side with your stomach facing the floor, and he has swords stabbed into him from the all the way from his crown down to the base, which is your root chakra, which is your feeling of security um, and safety. And so again, we're talking about liars, we're talking about deception, we're talking about shady ass family or others who are family like, who again, you know, they're damn lying, but you've let them so close by now that you would give anything to see that that wasn't the truth. Like you hope that you're wrong. You like in these situations you hope that you're not right. You understand? But the sad reality or the actual reality is that you are. And yeah, you have some options to deal with that. We'll get into that. But anyways, 10 of Swords, right? Final release. A man crouches on his knees, surrendered. That's a beautiful way to just say that. I've been trying so hard to describe this card, and it's just like, oh yeah, crouching on your knees. But whatever. You need the full picture. So, a man crouches on his knees, surrendered, exposed, and pierced throughout his body. So, like I was saying, he looked very vulnerable. The sun, either rising or setting, by the way, the sun is rising right now, hints at an ending and a new beginning. The Ten of Swords represents a conversation or a view in your mind that has grown very, very old. We talked about this, yo. Past the point of being useful. Again, the Ten of Swords represents a conversation or a view in your mind that has grown very, very old, past the point of being useful, no longer serving you, right? Rest assured, you and others have struggled with it long enough. Let it go. A conversation that was once about possibility has now become stale and lifeless. No one can force you to give it up, but surrendering this idea will create space for something new, and it may just change your life. Meaning, an end to an outdated way of being or thinking, surrender, betrayal, forgiveness of self or others, liberation from the past. Yo, breaking free from this toxic ass bullshit that's holding you back, and these stupid ass people who are holding you back, who you continue to let sit around you. Why? Because you don't love yourself? You need so badly to fit in with their tribe that you're going to give up on your own self worth, what you deserve. These people are that worth it to you for what? Bro, they're dragging you down. It's like having a freaking ball and chain, like having a chain on your ankle and walking around. Let me put this here. That's much better. I should have just done that from the beginning. Anyways, walking around with a big ass cement ball. You know those ones y'all seen, right? Like in the old cartoons with the jailhouse stuff, and they got the big boulder attached to a chain, which is attached to the man's ankle, I guess, to keep him held down. Which again we kind of touched on earlier in a multitude of ways. The point is, it's time to release not just some of these people, but these outdated ideas. Because the point is that if you're still around these people, there is an idea or a philosophy, a way of life inside of you that is allowing this shit to continue. There is an idea or a philosophy, an ideology lying within you, not so much dormant anymore either. There's something lying within you that is allowing you to tolerate this foolishness, this bullshit. Okay? So there's something within you that makes you feel like you're not worth it, or you need to prove your loyalty in order to get their love, which if that's the case, you shouldn't even be dealing with anybody. I don't give a damn. It could be your mother. I don't care. Okay? The point is that if somebody is trying to make you prove your love, you don't fucking need them. And on top of that, you're betraying yourself. So not only are you getting betrayed by them because they keep pretending like they're going to accept you when they're not. They don't accept you how you are. They want you to be a very specific way. And the minute that you're not that way, the minute that you're not who they think you are, the minute that you go against, you know, the ways they used to manipulate you. So again, for instance, you know, if I'm talking about myself or anything like that, you know, there was times where these people would get away with shit, where I would give them chance after chance, or just settle and accept. Like I would lie to myself about what I was feeling, about what I saw, about what I heard. Because again, these people don't think about the freaking details. So there's a bunch of people talking to you separately, individually. Like you might get a piece of the puzzle from your dad and then turn around and get a piece of the puzzle from your cousin, and they get the other piece of the puzzle from some caseworker that you met 6 years ago or whatever it may be, right? So you're getting all of these clear indicators of their problematic manipulation, their lies, things like that. But for some reason, you desire so much to be accepted or to be loved by someone outside of you that you continue to tolerate this craziness, tolerate this bullshit, take things that no longer serve you and things that you don't deserve. Okay, so right. The point is, yeah, an end to an outdated way of being or thinking. Surrender, like surrender to these emotions and stop trying to fight them. Stop trying to pretend they're not there. I'm not talking about again being destructive, like losing control. Where like, because I think that is a big portion of why people talk about controlling emotions instead of flowing with them, or instead of learning with them, instead of fully feeling the emotion, instead of allowing yourself that grieving process, if that's what's necessary. Is that people think of emotion as like this super out of control, irrational thing that causes harm. Because what do you see? You see people doing things out of like rage or lust or, quote unquote, anger. You see people doing things like killing a partner or being on Snapped or one of these shows or whatever like that. And it's like, yeah, that's the extreme unhealthy side of the duality or the polarity of that. There's polarity in everything in the freaking universe. Everything in this world has a polarity to it. It's literally a universal law. But you don't have to be on that extreme side where you're either destructive to yourself, keeping yourself from love, from other genuine people that you could meet, right? Blocking blessings that could be coming in. You're not making room and making space for those. It could be um, destruction of self, such as turning to substances, turning to, even if it's not substances like, alcohol or drugs or whatever, you could say like Netflix, like drowning yourself out with TV shows or mind numbing activities so you don't have to think or you don't have to feel. Using sex, using people to get a boost of self confidence, all these different types of things. Um, there's another example that's popping up, but not, it's kind of fuzzy. So, whatever thought you just had, apply it to your situation, because I feel like one of y'all, something about something the last two words or sentences I said sparked something. So, yo, the word betrayal, we just talked about that. And then the other part of this all, beyond liberation from the past, is this forgiveness aspect, this forgiveness of self. And that's the tricky part, because in hindsight, you gain, hopefully, usually you gain some clarity, right? And because they always say, oh, hindsight's 2020. Like, I mean, not always, but usually hindsight gives you a clear indication of what the truth was, or the way that you were manipulated, or the way that you did give up on yourself, or the way that you gave away your power to fit in or to fit with somebody else type shit, or a scenario that did not serve you type thing, right? And that can be very difficult to forgive yourself for those things, many people might not even think about forgiving themselves. When you hear about forgiveness, people always like, oh, yeah, just forgive them, because it's more for you than them. And if you forgive, then all of a sudden you'll feel better and you'll live a prosperous life and all this fucking bullshit, okay? It's BS, dude. All right? Some things cannot be forgiven. Some things cannot be forgiven. I don't give a damn about all this foolishness about, oh, it's gonna help you and that. Some people don't even deserve any more of your brain cells. They don't deserve any more of your time, any more of your energy, any more of your anything. They don't deserve shit. Okay? The last thing they deserve is for you to be spending any more energy on them and then gaslighting yourself into submission so that you quote unquote forgive them to feel better about yourself. Hell no. Look at the lesson from that person. You can absolutely learn from it. Look at the lesson that it was meant to show you and to teach you. Why did it come into your life? Perhaps what was it about your vibration at that current time in your life that caused these types of things to be attracted to you like a magnet type of vibe? um Sometimes you're going to be in situations where it feels like you didn't attract that at all, but you had to see the truth. For instance, the thing that happened to me months ago, it wasn't that I was on that vibration or that wave with those people, but it was that I had already been feeling distant and iffy about them anyway. I was already feeling like something is not right, and I was keeping my distance anyway. So it was like a final revelation or a final test to show me, like, oh, that's why I stayed away from those motherfuckers. That's why I stay away from them. You understand? It's not always somebody did you wrong or they abused you or they lied to you or they took advantage of you or they manipulated you or they did this and they did that and da 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 da. And then, oh, well, you need to go forgive them for yourself so you can feel peace. Fuck that. Okay? You feel peace by learning the lesson, and you feel peace by trusting yourself, knowing that your intuition and your emotions were correct the whole time. Don't listen to them because these people will try to make you feel crazy. Like, no, you're imagining that, you're making that up, or you're always accusing me of things and da 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 da. And there are some of y'all out there that are like, quote unquote jealous lovers or possessive. I should say you're possessive people or whatever. So, when it comes to relationships and things, however those relationships play out, and so, sometimes people do approach people or confront them as if something is going on and something actually is not going on, right? But they come at them like, you know they're just so convinced in their mind that they want to keep accusing people. So this is when it is of vast importance that you are in tune with you fully and how you truly operate, your natural self. How do you normally, like, what is your default way to operate? Not what did you pick up along the way to protect yourself, not your defense mechanisms, not your coping skills, but just your default. Like, if someone yells at you, do you shut down? And if you do shut down, is that because of a natural response, such as you don't like loud noises, or it just makes your vibration feel a certain way? You have a physiological response to it? Or is it a program thing because your dad's cousin or your dad's uncle or whoever used to yell at you, and there was a threat of physical violence or physical hurt from that yelling, or a sense of shame and embarrassment from that yelling? Or, like, why is it that when someone is yelling at you, you don't just roll it off the shoulder, but it's actually impacting you? Because there are people out there that if you yell at them, they'll laugh in your face, right? Some people's response is that. So looking at how does your true self, your natural self, react to situations, understanding your true inner voice and not what you're picking up from others, but what your true gut and your true mind and the messages you're getting. What are all these things telling you? You understand? That's another way to get some of these quote unquote puzzle pieces, is the universe sending you little gifts and things like this. Like you hearing this message today obviously was a reason for it. Okay? Shit's not like there's no coincidence. It was a reason for it. All right. I don't even be up this early. But seriously, like it might be that. It might be numbers, it might be recurring themes and shows and different things like that. Matter of fact, right before I officially recorded, because I've been playing around with the software for hours or whatever. Right before I recorded, I was pausing this show, and she was all in love with the guy, even though it had. And this theme keeps popping up, so I don't know if somebody need to hear this or what's going on. This is the third show and or movie that I've watched in the last, I don't know, I wouldn't say 3 or 4 days, but say the last week. This is the third completely separate individual, like on different streaming platforms type shit. Okay. This is the third time that a movie or show has hit on this point of marrying someone after like 3 weeks, being so head over heels in love after 3 weeks, believing every word they say after 3 weeks, giving your best, most vulnerable self to them after 3 weeks. Okay. So I don't, somebody out there definitely got to hear that, because it's coming up way too much. And this is what I mean. Picking up themes from, like, reoccurring themes are things you should pay attention to, right? So, um, in any case, right before I hit record, this was the third, like I said, completely independent show. One of the show, matter of fact, before I hit record was from 1985. The other show I saw it in came out last week, like 2023. All right. So the theme is this concept of meeting someone so amazing and so mind blowing that, again, matches you, they mirror you, their philosophies seem to be the same, you tell stories, and they have those same experiences. Or, you know, in my personal life, I had it happen where, like, I asked somebody, I was like, oh, what's your biggest fear, like trying to get to know somebody or whatever, asked them their biggest fear, and they were like, I don't know, what's your biggest fear? So now I told them mine, what it was at that time. This was years ago. Um, Told them mine, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh yeah, yeah, me too." And then they had those same ones. I didn't see that as a red flag though. You saw the target just popped up, right? A literal target. I didn't take that and say, take that step back, because I was so enamored by this person. I was so interested in this person. I was so head over heels for this person. Like, it might sound like such a small thing, but again, hindsight, right? So there was multiple red flags from that person that I ignored and ignored and ignored and ignored. And who the fuck got hurt in the end? Me. You understand? It's not even about the hurt. Like, hurt can heal or whatever. But it's just more so of the self forgiveness that becomes a problem, because there was a part of you that kept telling you the truth, kept trying to show you the light, and you kept ignoring it and ignoring it and ignoring it for another person who then turns around and is not even there, right? Like, they leave, they go about their life. And this whole time, you've been denying you, you've been lying to you, you've been betraying yourself to accommodate this person or to accommodate your ideals surrounding this person or that relationship, or these persons, I should say, these people, right? Um, Yeah. So the point is, like I said, mirroring, they'll do that, or they'll try to suddenly have all these things in common with you. And of course, yeah, you can have things in common with people, but it's a very specific way that they do it. Again, use context. Like, it's not, oh, we just so happen to be into the same thing. We both like laser tag, or we both like this show or whatever. All right. It's more of like a, they wait to hear what you have to say, or they're very limited in the information that they offer up. Not saying, oh, because they're an introvert. I mean, genuinely, like, when they speak to you, it's the same stories over and over and over again. They tell the same scenarios. um when they speak to you, it's like I said, they it seems like they're trying to set you up for questions, like indirectly ask you things or whatever, because they're trying to fish for more information to cut you down, or to see like your weak points and things like that. You know, some people say keep your enemies closer. I don't fuck with that. I just, if I don't like you, I don't like I don't do the fake shit. I don't fuck with you. That's it. You know, but a lot of people do these keep your enemy closer things. So, you know, you could say, okay, it's to get more information, but you know, for what? For what? Why do you need more information about someone who was out to get you? That's just inviting trouble into your life. You know, remove yourself and your vibration from that shit. Why are you again trying to fit around these people, or giving them any more of your brain cells, any more of your energy? They don't deserve a damn thing from you. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe them anything. I don't give a damn if they brought you into this world. You don't owe them a damn thing. All right? So, anyways, man, I hope all of this is adding up. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's a live, intoxicated intuition. So, yeah. Speaking of brain cells, they're not aligning right now. Anyways, they are, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? Astral realm and stuff. Anyway, so we got the Nine of Cups, man, and this dude is like cheesing, man. Like, the dude is bringing happiness to me, seeing him. All right, like, he's just genuinely filled with joy. He's surprised, like, oh shit, like, look at all this bounty I have, yo. Like, look at all this fulfillment, all this, like, everything I put in. Boom, look at this abundance, prosperity. And that other card, I don't even know, remember which one now. The other card was talking about blocking the things that you have coming in, because you're so concerned with outdated um, beliefs and ideals that no longer serve you and things like that. So, yo, let's see what this Nine of Cups is about. Right here. Boom. Let me change this song too. Hey, shouts out to my numbers popping up on the screen when I went to change that song. Um, right. A man sit a man sits with 9 cups, inviting in anyone who wishes to share his joy and contentment. Often known as the wish card, the 9 of Cups is a moment of emotional fulfillment and satisfaction, a powerful card of giving and receiving. As he reflects back on the events and choices that brought him here, he gives thanks. As the phrase goes, joy shared is happiness returned. You have been blessed, and now is the time to welcome others to the table for an abundant feast. Meaning, contentment, emotional satisfaction, success, a wish fulfilled, pervasive wellness, good karma. Man, That part too. There was a sign I drove by the other day. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I hope I can. Let me see. I think I read this last time, but it still is relevant. Here it goes. This sign, every time I'm in a certain wave or frequency with the universe or spirit or metaphysically, quantum physically, whatever you want to say, uh, this sign, they just always have the right message, like the same theme or whatever's popping up. Again, this is what I'm talking about, you know, aligning with or recognizing the signs from all over. So in any case, it says, those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. All right. Again, those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. So basically, shining your light and helping other people, being selfless enough or vulnerable enough to share yourself with other people, which can be extremely difficult. Difficult doesn't mean impossible, but some people take it as that, like it's a life sentence. Like, oh, it's easy for you to say, or that it's easier said than done. Like, no, who the hell ever said it was gonna be easy? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But at the other end of it, you're getting a damn 9 of cups, bro. It's worth it. Go through the fire a little bit. So, um, yeah, I kind of got off track, but the yeah, joy shared is happiness returned. Like I said, shining that light, being vulnerable, letting people in. So when you have been scorned and lied to and manipulated and abused and all these other things, man, you just get tired. You get tired. Like, I'm so freaking tired, bro. I'm so tired. Like, welcoming in. First off, you already have that layer or that guard to protect you, right? And you, because of how these people presented themselves to you, and this could be different, multiple scenarios. So maybe, the people you were thinking about earlier, and now them plus another situation you had 5 years before you met them, and the person you met 3 years before that 5 year person, and whatever, right? But if you think about throughout your life, and I'm not talking about just disappointments, like you had expectations, someone let you down, or a relationship didn't work out. I'm talking about people that have been calculated enough to manipulate you, to misguide you, to misdirect you, to bring chaos into your life, or to present themselves one way. And then as you go deeper, or the longer that you've known them, all of a sudden it's like they're a completely different person, not because they've grown and learned, but because you're finally getting to see their true self. So 6 months in, now you're seeing their true self, whereas the 3 weeks in, you didn't, right? So I understand falling in love very quickly, falling for someone's potential, falling in with a crowd because you feel like they're the ones to elevate you or to help your career or whatever it may be. I understand feeling the societal and familial pressure to connect with those around you, even when your family ain't shit. Just say it what it is. These motherfuckers are not trying to elevate themselves. Anytime you have an idea about how to improve or get better, or welcome in more prosperity or abundance into your life and their lives, they always have some reason why it can't work. Every time you go to them with an idea or a feeling or a not just a hunch, but you go to them with solid like passion, and the first thing they do is look at all the reasons why you will fail, all the reasons it won't work out. Not constructive criticism or um hey, watch out for this, that's really cool, you're doing that, da 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 da. And sometimes you don't need support, right? Like in the sense of sometimes your idea is dumb and people don't want to enable you and support you. Like they want to support you, but they don't want to enable you going down a rocky road or a sketchy road or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're passionate about it, go forth and do it. Um, yeah, you could say use discernment or whatever, but sometimes you just have to follow what you're feeling and not analyze everything, overanalyze everything to death, not overthink everything to death. Sometimes you just have to vibe out and just go with the flow, like we talked about in the beginning. Um, so yeah, so the point is, you're gonna be in situations that are difficult and that hurt and that are full of disbelief. And yeah, there will be someone along the way, whether professionally or personally, especially personally, that will do you wrong. They're just gonna do you dirty. You know what I'm saying? Just put it out there like that. Like they were playing a part, they were playing a game. Normally, because they either don't love themselves, like feel like they're really worthy and deserving of love, or they're afraid of being left. So they emulate what they think you would like, or adjust their words and the way they approach you to fit the imaginary response of you in their mind. So meaning they don't come to you with the true truth, with the real truth, because they think you're going to get mad. But at the end of the day, you're only responsible for your emotions, no one else's. So if you get mad, you get mad. So the hell what? Like, don't fucking lie to me. All right. Let me get mad if I'm going to get mad. You don't know if I'm going to get mad. You didn't even give me a chance. Instead, you're sitting over here like making that decision for me, not even giving me an opportunity. And you're lying in the process. Like you're not telling the full truth because you're afraid of my reaction. But you don't even know what my reaction is gonna be. So this is the people you gotta look out for when they be trying to tell you that they know you more than you know yourself and all this fucking foolishness. They don't. All right. They don't. Can't nobody know you more than you know you. Flat out. It might seem like it. And again, some people are so good at playing these games that like it'll feel real. It'll feel real. Like, oh man, we connect so well. Like you just know me, type stuff. And unfortunately, the hard way you figure out like it'll start adding up in your head. And you'll be like, wait a minute. That don't add up with that. Those two things don't go together. These five things are all separate from what you said the last time we met, and 7 times ago you said this. Like that's what I'm telling you. You'll start to get the outline to the puzzle even if you don't have every little single piece. You'll have enough context and clues to put it all together. You just have to be open and willing to, and trust you enough to do it. You feel it, you see it, you know it, but you're out here trying to protect the facade of the relationship you have with them, or protect them because you feel some type of sentimental, over sentimental loyalty to them, as we spoke about. So, yeah, I know that's a lot off of that one card, especially with this cup. This card is representing like crazy abundance and happiness, bro. Because you know what? When you cut these motherfuckers off, I understand you might be at work, whatever. Whatever. Your boss probably need to hear this too. So don't worry about it. We're all adults, right? I will hope. The point is that you have this beautiful opportunity. And like we talked about, the superstar earlier that we talked about, who came from a solid background or a blessed background. Like he wasn't coming from a background of desperation and survival mode and lack, like the people that are out here doing the destructive things that he's doing right now. And throwing away, say you had, like I said, $230 million plus an endorsement from top, the top athletic line in the world, plus one of the biggest sports drinks in the world. All right. And it's not even to go into sports and all that. It's just to say that you have this amazing opportunity and more potential to hit, more opportunity coming your way. You could be so much more than where you are now or what you are now. And you're blocking all of that to conform with and fit in with these freaking idiots who don't value you enough to even tell you the truth. These people that don't give a damn about you if it's between you and them. If it's them or you, it's not going to be you. But unfortunately, you would choose them instead of you. You understand? Like, I've been there, bro. Like, that person will not choose you if it comes down to you or them. But on the flip side, you would give your all for them. You would give up everything or a good part of you, which is everything. You are everything, right? Like, you're giving up pieces of you and your true potential and different things to, like I said, either conform to or to protect these people and to protect the facade that you've built around this person. Again, accepting people how they are right now and not repainting their colors to fit your narrative or to embrace or nurture some sort of potential that you see rising within them. Okay. You see this amazing opportunity. You see this amazing character that they could be. And yet, this individual is showing you very clearly that they are not that. Like, one of the things they say in therapy and other places is like, if this person never changed, right? Because you always have these people like, oh, baby, I'll change, or I can improve, or I'll do this, I'll do that. Like, again, trying to fit what they think you want. So you have these people sitting around here acting like they are capable of change. Again, you can grow enough to not do something, but you're gonna go back to your natural self. All right. These people running around here acting like they can transform or that they will truly transform for your benefit, which is weird if you listen to that anyway. That don't even sound right. Okay. I'm not talking about compromise. I'm talking about fully freaking changing a complete 180 of themselves or a 270 of themselves or whatever, right? And hell, some of them 360. I've been in those kind of cycles where the person's like, I'm gonna change. Give me 3 months. And you give them 3 months and then they go right back down. And you give them 4 months, they go right back down. Give them 3 months, they go right back down, right? So this whole bargaining back and forth, instead of just walking away and knowing your worth and knowing your value and saying, yo, I'm done. This is not serving me. You're sitting around trying to wait for this person to change. And the thing is, what if they never change? Like, could you accept this person right now, how they are right now, today? Not for what they tell you they could be, not for what you perceive them or think that they could be, but genuinely, they're going to stay the exact same as they are right now. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with having this person in your life if they were the exact same as they are today? You know, I'm hearing a lot of no's for the people out there watching live right now. Hey, you know, there's a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of stuff coming out, all related to each other. But essentially, yeah, like, don't give up your 9 of Cups upright, your abundance, your prosperity, your bounty. All right, everything that's blossoming in your favor. Don't abandon that for these people that will abandon you, or who have already abandoned you. On top of that, so now let's get to our last card right here. Speaking of the number 5, we got the Hierophant. Like I said, my other camera's out there. So this is wow. So this is like a prism. It's it kind of looks like a glass prism, but it's more of like a box, not plastic. A little bit looks like wood, but like if you were to paint it, nah, it looks more like a I don't even know what kind of material that is, but whatever. It's like a prism, right? And so homie is on the side opening the box. You could barely see him in the card because he is opening this wide raid, you know, I don't know, I just want to say abundance, but basically it's like if you were to open a box, a clear box that just had like this crazy shining light emanating from it, right? So it's emitting this crazy, like, multi-directional prism, this multi-directional light, this beauty, this like unexpected abundance, or this kind of opportunity, it, relating to like that last card as well. You know, it's just shining this light. I don't know how else to say it. It's just emitting this kind of beauty. Um, and he's looking in very curiously, like he has the one eyebrow up and everything, kind of looking like, like, oh, what's that? Or like, oh shit. It's kind of like his expression is more of like it's almost like he knew it would be in there. Like he's checking to see if it's there, but then also kind of like, oh, it is there. Like knowing it's there, but then surprised that it's there. Kind of like, I guess, if you were to manifest something, like, you know that the intention was already put out there, the will was put out there. You knew that eventually it was coming, but now you're looking like, oh, is that really it? Type vibe. That's the vibe I'm getting from the card. Anyways, number 5, trusted advisor. Page 21, number 3 again. Our first card was on page like 30 or something with a 3. Anyways, the Hierophant warmly protects the traditions and offers spiritual guidance and practical advice to the community. Though they are not his own, they have all been entrusted to him, and he shares them freely with anyone who asks. He is the illuminating link between our most cherished beliefs and the actual living of those beliefs in our day-to-day lives. The Hierophant asks you to honestly assess how well your convictions translate to words and actions. He can be a stubborn teacher, but his counsel is worth considering. It will undoubtedly guide you toward inner harmony. Number 5, you know, we always talk about means harmony, creativity, things like that. New beginning, change. New beginnings and change and stuff like that. Meaning, a giver of wisdom, peace, and assurance. keeper of traditions, a pillar in the community, compassion, guidance, a search for the truth. I'm not making shit up, bro. I don't know if y'all can see this. A search for the truth. Right here. Okay. Over there. A search for the truth. A search for the truth. Search for the truth. All right. I don't know how the hell this turned into an hour and 55 minutes. Well, 5 of that was the intro, but still. But yo, 6 cards. Again, we had the Temperance, we had the King of Cups in reverse, we had a 3 of Swords upright, we had a 9 of Cups upright, after a 10 of Swords upright, and then the Hierophant to end it all off. The Hierophant was the first card that popped out before the reading. It popped up off camera. So that sums it up very nicely. Yeah, I should probably go to sleep now, but I feel like I want to go live again or keep going live. I think I'm gonna do another deck. I'm gonna do one more deck. But I'm gonna take a quick break and come back. Matter of fact, I'll end this one and then come back. But you know what? Every time I say that, I usually don't until way later. So we'll see what happens. Oh, let me play this though. I don't know. It said play the singing bowl, so that's what I'm gonna do. Oh boy. What we got? One or two? We got our I don't know, yeah. Hand painted, handcrafted ceramic one from Nepal. So yeah. Man, it's slipping out of my hand though. Yeah, this one always trips up a little bit. But either way, still sounds amazing. And maybe I could leave it on this. No, it's spinning. I would say I had this little mouse pad right here to keep it from sliding. What are y'all gonna do about this, man? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna confront them? I don't think that now is the exact time, but it is time to start working towards your it is time to start working towards your acceptance and healing process in all of this. Understanding by and large that these people care about not you. Because if they did care about you, you know, sometimes people lie to protect people, but normally, I'm not talking about like a parent lying to a 6-year-old. I'm talking about grown adults, okay? Or even say high school age. You know, they got all their little drama and shit, but I'm talking about more young lady, young man type of stuff into 30s, right? People can or will lie to either protect themselves or protect someone else. But at the end of the day, the fact that they continue to lie boldly and brazenly to your freaking face, or rather behind your back while everybody else knows the truth and they think that they're some slick motherfucker because you don't know the truth, even though you do, you know? I don't think right now is the time to necessarily approach them, but definitely start working on that acceptance. Um, it's harder when you write it down, but writing it down makes it more real. And if it's more real, then you can work with it and you can manage it. You understand? Um, when we try to falsify things or give them false meanings or false understandings or false definitions, we try to deny what is happening and dress it up, right? When you do these types of things, you're getting away from the core essence of the issue of the scenario or the predicament, things like that. So yeah, yeah. I heard like be careful, but I don't feel like that's the right message. It's not about being careful. I feel like the ball is shifting to your court. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the momentum is changing over, and they don't know that. They're gonna be very surprised when they find out that you knew all along. But sometimes you have to play the fool to play the fool that's fooling you. Yeah, I can't remember where I heard that, Joan, but it popped up right now at the perfect time. Sometimes you have to play the fool to fool the fool who's fooling you. You understand? Break that down. Comprehend that. Uh anyways, yo, if this helped you, share it and help somebody else out. I'm dead ass. Share the link. It doesn't cost you nothing. You just click on the little arrow at the bottom of the video and do all of that, okay? And I'm actually gonna come right back with another reading. I'm gonna take a little break and be back. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, you know what I'm saying? My email is on my about page and all of that. I hope. I'm pretty sure. No, it's on there. At least one of the yeah. The business email is on there, whatever. So um yeah, man. I'm gonna check y'all in a minute. I appreciate you watching, genuinely. I do hope that this put things into perspective. I don't want to say I hope it helped, because helped what? I hope it gave you enough perspective to be patient and be strategic about your stuff. Or, just to let the motherfuckers out there know that you know. Like, The Weeknd did a whole song back in the day on Kissland called, basically he's saying, I know everything. Like, it's a whole song that feels good to sing, but, like, I know everything. I know it. We're intelligent over here, okay? Maybe on a dummy, they would have just took everything at face value and not put the shit together. But like I said, with context and detail, that's what they miss. Attention to detail, bro. So shouts out to these 6 cards, you know what I'm saying? Go get your everything. And I will be back. See, that is the European sign for peace, right? It's division. The Kemet version is togetherness. That's another thing. The little shit that's programmed that you don't even think about, you know? Anyways, all right.